staff.
Okay, and then a couple more points that are on here. That it says, in respect to the park board, this was unanimously approved at their May 7th meeting. Was this discussed at the park board meeting?
This item was not pulled. It was on the consented agenda, but it was not pulled.
So it's pretty much staff-driven, then staff kind of recommended it and they approved it. Okay, and then here it says here that additional services for the final phase, the construction phase, may be brought forward at future meeting if the committee deems it necessary. Who's the committee?
Committee would be the committee that's been working on the, so far, which would be employees from Park and Recreation and the Senior Center. There's one section there that we have looked at other people doing it other than CPMI, that there are local people that probably could potentially do that. So we may go to bid on that last construction phase, or maybe we won't even use it. I'm not sure.
Do we have an official committee? I mean, do we have like some type of a named committee, or is this just some people that are getting together?
Right now, the committee is 2 people from the Senior Center, myself, Ed Steyert, the manager at the Recreation Center, and then we've been running everything through the Director of Parks and Recreation and through administration.
Okay, I think that's all the questions I had with that one.
Okay. And Mr. Wojcik?
I had pulled these 3 in block as well. Besides what's already been brought up, a couple of questions. I really wish that we recorded our committee meetings because I think we had a great talk when this one came forward, and I wanted to go back and, you know, all I had to reference was really my notes on it. And but we talked a lot about, you know, what a great site that was, and to make sure that we get the most bang for our buck on the site. We even went back and we talked about some of the previous studies that have been done about possibly locating a hotel or some other services there, things that could complement a senior center, rec center. And I didn't hear much on it, so then a few months after that I contacted staff to make sure that we were going to do something in this process to make sure that these things were considered. And now, as my understanding is, and I haven't seen it myself, but as this RFP is going out, there's no mention whatsoever of site design as a requirement or urban design as a requirement in here. And is that the case where are those skills called upon in what we're looking for architects?
They're not specifically named in that RFP.
They're not.
But the plan was to have 2 different plans drawn, one showing a, you know, an urban use of, you know, basically the property that we have with, you know, more transit orientated on the basis of just the uses that are planned now, and a second plan that shows what could be done in the future if you went with structured parking, which was an item that you and I discussed, and which the Park and Rec staffs indicated would be part of the architect's charge when they start their work process.
And part of my concern here is that that's good, but we're not judging our architect on having any skills to do that, as I understand it. You know, it seems like, you know, we could be hiring somebody whose specialty is designing suburban buildings with big old surface parking lots around it. And I guess that's my concern with the RFP, and I don't know how we solve it at this point, but I'm glad to hear, though, that this is still important and we're still going to look at that. I'm just not sure that we're going to have a skills match for that.
Well, I don't know that that's, you know, I would think all of them would have some capability of doing that, and the main function is still the building is on the property, and that's the main design feature. So,
well, right, and I mean, we can either, you know, we can prepare for the future or not prepare. How this building is laid out is either going to prevent or allow for things to happen in the future, and that's always been my concern. And, you know, whether or not the building itself, when this first part goes up, is transit oriented, that's a huge concern for me, because, you know, I don't want to make the senior center something that encourages seniors to drive there, and I don't think that.
I'm sure that's something that can come out in the interview process, but
so, well, and I'd appreciate it if that was a point of discussion, because my understanding is even the senior center had no idea that this was even part of the discussion. So
Park and Rec department knew about it.
Well,
Sure
it's you know, and that's, well, everyone knows about it now anyway.